Commander Replay. We're back with some more Krenko 10th Street Kingpin. Will this game actually go more than 6 turns? Find out next on Commander Replay. Today's video comes as voted on by Patreon supporters. We've got an Ancient Tomb, a Mana Crypt, a Worn Power Stone, Coat of Arms, and no red mana. Oh, that's interesting. That is so interesting. Likelihood that we draw a red mana. We have 36 lands in the deck. Not a great land count as far as I'm concerned. We need 2. We need 1 to get Krenko in. We need 2 to play Neheb. I think we mulligan that as much as it's going to be a crazy hand. This looks a little more balanced. Ancient Tomb, Battle Hymn, Pile Driver. That seems better. That's turn 2 Krenko right there. We'll go ahead and keep this one. In the other game, too, we went last, which is also really bad. Like, if we go ahead of that Breya, our commander doesn't get shot. Not that we necessarily win the game, but just, you know, the pace of the game is just very different. You know, we're just in the wrong spot compared to that Breya. Turn 1 Burgeoning for the Selvala opponent seems good. Let us go ahead and play let's play the Mountain right here, and we'll get the Legion Loyalist into play. That'll trigger the Burgeoning. Burgeoning pretty good. Get the Legion Loyalist. Next turn we'll go for our commander. The turn after that, probably Shared Animosity. Seems like a pretty good place to be. We'll attack the Sharuum opponent one time, since they seem the most combo-centric. They go down to 39, we'll pass the turn. There's a Mana Crypt for the Sharuum opponent, and followed by a Signet. That's a very good first turn. You can have a lot of mana very quickly. Farseek for the Ur-Dragon. Opponent casting their Selvala right here. Really quick game. Everyone ramping hard. Ooh, there's a Goblin Rabblemaster. Goblin Rabblemaster does help our cause. I think I'm still going to go for our commander, even though I like the Rabblemaster would give us more tokens. Attack the Ur-Dragon for 1. Opponent says their Sharuum deck is toned down from Breya a bit. That's good news. I am joined by 3 Patreon supporters today. We have TGHSC playing Sharuum the Hegemon. We have Dragon Knight 104 still on the Ur-Dragon. And we've got Selvala Explorer Returned being piloted by Xenosai. Here comes, Oblivion Stone. Would love to get rid of that. Team Ascendancy for the Ur-Dragon. That's a good one. Them dragons gonna have haste. We draw a Goblin Recruiter. Oh man, I wish I played more Goblin decks. There's probably a way to, like, do awesome things with this Goblin Recruiter. Take a look at the deck list. I guess we don't have the card draw just yet. Maybe we'll keep that as, like, the backup plan to the board wipe. That's probably coming in this Oblivion Stone. Opponent's playing Realms Uncharted. Search your library for up to 4 land cards, different names. An opponent chooses 2 of those cards, put the chosen cards into the graveyard, the rest into your hand. We're going to put Mazavith into the graveyard, and we'll put Yavimaya Hollow into the graveyard. Opponent didn't like the way that I gave them lands. Did not fall into their plans. Made them play the Riftstone Portal. They wanted that one in the graveyard and the other ones in play. We draw a Mountain, play the Mountain. We're on 4 mana this turn. Burgeoning will continue to trigger. Opponent's going to bring in a Glacial Chasm off of the Burgeoning. They sacrifice the Riftstone Portal. Okay. I'm going to play the Goblin Rabblemaster because after that point, we don't really need to play that much else, at least until we're, like, set up with the win. We do need to be careful of the Oblivion Stone that's showing on board. And this will probably definitely force the board wipe. Opponent's going to Swords our commander. So we gain just a teeny bit of life. And Goblin Rabblemaster coming into play, we do make a second token. Opponent does have a Glacial Chasm, so they will not be taking any damage, and we'll send the other 2 at the other 2 opponents. We do have a Tectonic Edge in hand, so we could theoretically get rid of that Glacial Chasm at some point. Wait for a time in which it makes sense for us to do so. So the other 2 opponents getting hit for 1, and we will pass turn. Opponent's down to 32. Opponent does also have a Academy Ruins in play, something we may also need to Tectonic Edge. Here comes a Phyrexian Arena. Opponent doesn't have enough for the Oblivion Stone this turn, that's good. Another land, Burgeoning continues to trigger. Opponent getting all the lands. Here comes Dromoka the Eternal. Yep, it's going to have haste. And opponent gets to draw a card. Opponent swinging our way. Ouch. Dromoka becomes a 7/7. I may shoot the Glacial Chasm right here, just so the Dragon opponent feels comfortable swinging over that way. Oh, that's the Wheel of Fortune. That changes things. That changes things. If we could just shoot the Oblivion Stone, then I would feel comfortable waiting another turn to 2 to, like, try to do all this, but, That's another Mountain. I'm gonna play the Tectonic Edge right here. Gonna go to combat. Goblin Rabblemaster will create another creature. We'll just send the team into the Dragon. Legion Loyalist will trigger, and Rabble Master will trigger. So Dragon down to 30. I think I'm going to go Goblin Recruiter and Goblin Pile Driver, because even if we get board wiped now, we can just Wheel of Fortune and try to get more stuff. Play the Goblin Recruiter. I've never resolved this card before, so there's probably some, like, ideal sequence of goblins, and I do not know what it is. A Skirk Prospector seems good. Treasure Nabber seems good with an Artifact Commander. Siege Gang is always good. Who's the one that makes goblins cheaper? That seems like always a good one to have around. Goblin War Chief. Yeah. Get the Beetleback Chieftain. We'll get the Crater Maker because if opponent taps out and doesn't use their Oblivion Stone, we can just blow it up. That seems good. And we'll get Krenko because Krenko's just good. So that's like most of our goblins. What order are they going in? A Siege Gang Commander to the bottom of that pile. Think Krenko after that. Treasure Nabber. Beetleback Chief. Prospector. War Chief and Crater Maker. And then we'll play the Pile Driver. So Mana Crypt and Phyrexian Arena trigger for the Sharuum. Hopefully doing some damage to themselves right here. Shortening the distance that we need to go. Wins the Mana Crypt flip. Makes me sad. They don't have any artifacts in their graveyard yet. That's good news. Opponent plays the land. Opponent does the worst and just passes with all their mana open so they can Oblivion Stone at any time. Oh, that's Asylum Guard, the Drifting Death. That is so bad for our deck. It'll have haste. We're about to get wiped, aren't we? Yup. Yes, we are. That sucks. Opponent gonna spread it around a little bit. Oh, defending player. All right, we're only gonna lose like half of our stuff. I mean, that still hurts. That still hurts. That means that Battle Hymn isn't really gonna be like an effective tool for us. So now the question is, now that we're like not on the lead because of Asylum Guard, we really need Asylum Guard gone. Do we force opponent to try to use the Oblivion Stone? Though they may just do it anyway if they don't feel like taking the 7 right here. We lose a lot of our stuff. Tokens gone, Recruiter gone, Legion Loyalist gone. 9 going into the Sharuum. Did they just pop? Did they pop the Oblivion Stone? Looks like it. Yep, there's the Oblivion Stone, so alright. That's good. That'll get rid of Teamer, Ascendancy. That gets rid of a bunch of their stuff, actually. Gets rid of this Burgeoning, the Chromatic Lantern, the Selvala. Opponent's going to Dawn Charm, regenerate their Selvala, so that'll stick around. Unless, is this a cannot be regenerated one? Nope. So everything except Selvala getting blown up, seems fine. Opponent pretty low on stuff now, having to blow up a lot of their own mana rocks. Opponent uses Selvala, we draw into the Crater Maker. Here comes a Vivian Reed. Look at the top, 4 cards in your library, reveal a creature card or land among them, put them into your hand, rest on the bottom, using that ability, or they can destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Ooh. Enchantment is bad for our Shared Animosity, and they can spend 8, get an emblem, creatures you control have +2/+2, Vigilance, Trample, and Indestructible. Oh boy, definitely don't want to be seeing that. Sylvan Awakening, until your next turn, all lands you control become 2/2 elemental creatures. What is the plan here? They have Indestructible? They do have Indestructible. Brings it back to our turn. There's that Goblin War Chief. Play a Mountain. Let's get the Goblin War Chief. We'll be 1 short of recasting our commander. Yep. 1 short. So I guess we just play the Crater Maker. We'll give our commander haste if it sticks around, though, so that's good. Glacial Chasm is indestructible, so we won't be able to shoot it right here. So I guess we're just passing. We'll do some attacking, but... Vivian... Opponent has no blockers for the Vivian Reed. That's a thing. Yeah, we're attacking the Vivian Reed is what we're doing. Double check the wording on this. Creatures you control can attack, prevent all damage that would be dealt to you. Does not help Planeswalkers at all. So Vivian Reed down to 2 loyalty. Opponent's gonna Vindicate on our War Chief. Makes me sad. Need to get enough goblins to make this Battle Hymn worth it. Opponent's making it hard for us to do that. Oh, the Sylvan Awakening play appeared to be a mistake from the Selvala. And here's the Dragon Lord Kolaghan. Flying haste, other creatures you control have haste. Yep. And they get to scry 1. Opponent gonna swing into the Planeswalker. Cool. Opponent paying 6 life to keep the Glacial Chasm. Goes down to 36. There's a Ramunap Excavator. Vivian Reed goes down to the Dragon, by the way. Oh, that's a Praetor's Council. Opponent up to 13 cards in hand. Gonna start thinking about that Wheel of Fortune now. That's how you deal with a card like that, honestly. There's a Beetleback Chief. Actually pretty helpful with the Battle Hymn, I think. Play the Mountain. Opponent gets a Burgeoning trigger. Sad face. Play the Beetleback Chief. Ramming up Excavator also means that Tectonic Edge on Glacial Chasm is off the table once again until we can do something about that. So Beetleback Chief coming in. Play the Skirk Prospector. Play Battle Him. We get 5 mana. So let's get the Shared Animosity in. Sacrifice a Goblin to make a mana. Play the Wheel of Fortune. Opponents are all pretty full on cards, so I think they're actually going to get hit pretty hard right here. Yeah, I feel like there's definitely some sequence somewhere with like Skirk Prospector that probably goes infinite, or at least, you know, gives you increasing mana. I don't know what that is, because I don't play enough goblins. Opponent saddened by my Wheel of Fortune. Yep. They're going to Swords on our Prospector. How much mana do we need? Sacrifice a token. Sacrifice. I forget what things are coming even. If we sacrifice up to 4, we can just get Krenko. Yeah, I think we just sacrifice the team right here. So, Swords of Plowshares down. Wheel of Fortune about to resolve. We get a bunch of new cards as a Treasure Nabber. Artifacts in play? None, sadly. Ooh, a lot of lands in there. Ouch. Spine Rock Knoll is interesting. That'll help us get past the land pocket. And Shrine of Nykthos. Those won't come down until next turn, though. So, looks like it's just going to be... I'm going to go with the Treasure Nabber. I feel like someone's going to lay down some mana rocks. Could go Krenko, but I really feel like Treasure Nabber will probably get us some extra mana. And we'll pass with the one floating. Maybe it won't, but we'll see. Volakut will be good because then we can shoot the Raminop Excavator. Burgeoning continues to trigger. Opponent discards a lot of stuff. Mana Tithe is in hand. Got rid of that nonsense. We got rid of a Karn, a Curse of Swine, Tezzeret. Got rid of a Bolas Planeswalker, Silumgar, Scourge of Alkus, Ojutai, Niv Mizzet Reborn. Yup. Ooh, there's an Ashiok Dreamrender. Opponent sad about losing all their dragons. Good chance they get exiled by this Ashiok. Here comes a Rhystic Study for the Sharuum. Opponent says they could have tied the Wheel of Fortune. Yep, that they could have. We may have been able to sacrifice creatures in response. Opponent gonna hit us with the Ashiok. Gonna exile our graveyard. We're the mono red deck, man. Take a look at those dragons. We're mono red. Those creatures ain't coming back. Although I guess if someone else plays like a Rise of the Dark Realms or a Living Death, then that could be a thing. Oh, that exiles everyone's graveyard. Is that everyone's graveyard? Target player puts top 4 of the... Then exile each opponent's graveyard. All right. Yep. Okay, that makes sense. So, all that stuff getting exiled, none of it coming back, makes this Raminop Excavator not so big of a deal. There's a Sarkhan Unbroken. Sure. No one yet tapping any mana rocks. Maybe Krenko was the correct call, although Treasure Nabber not going to draw hate in the same way that Krenko will. Enlightened Tutor firing off. Opponent does have the mana to pay. Looks like they're going to pay for the Rhystic Study. Based on the lands we haven't had, we need the game to go like 4 more turns to get all these lands in, which kind of sucks. It is stalled out a little bit right now, but I can see people setting up. There's a big dragon out there. There's Planeswalker, Rhystic Study. Opponent's going to Beast Within on the Glacial Chasm. I would have saved that personally since they still have the Raminop thingy, or at least done it in response to the Ashiok. Oh, I guess that happened. Never mind, that happened during the other player's turn, so they wouldn't have been able to do that. But yeah, high likelihood that it just comes back, and now it's not going to ding them for like 8. It's going to get them for 8 life, which is a bit. No attacks from the dragon. It's good news. Glitch Chasm coming back. Yeah, opponent's got so many lands, it doesn't really matter. Yep, opponent realized that was a waste. Yes, it was. I might leave up the Tectonic Edge this turn, because if we can exile the Glacial Chasm, that would be good. Selvala really has a lot of mana. Burgeoning been triggering all game. No one's dealt with it. Not great. Here comes an Eternal Witness. Opponent gonna grab their Rift Portal. Interesting. Why would they grab that? If they can just replay it. Maybe thinking it'll get exiled? Over in a tutor? The opponent does have Yavimaya Hollow out, so they can regenerate the Raminop Excavator in case we ever get to the point of Volakut. So that being the case, I think I'm going to go slower on the Volakut. We draw into a Flamekin Village. It's interesting. We need an Elemental. Don't think there's any Elementals in this deck. Matter Reshaper coming into play. Ooh, that's a Multani. Yeah, I kind of wish I played the Krenko last turn. Whoops. We draw a Mountain. Not really very helpful. Play. What do we need the most? I'm going to go for the Nykthos Shrine to Nyx right here. Burgeoning will trigger. Let's get Krenko. Rhystic Study will trigger. I'm just going to let them draw. Oh, maybe we could have paid for that. Crap. Yeah. We only get 4 mana. Nah. Yeah, I'm just going to pass like this. We definitely could have paid for the Rhystic Study. But if opponent uses Ashiok again, we're going to use the Tectonic Edge and blow up the Glacial Chasm and get rid of that nonsense. There's a Mystical Tutor on the upkeep. Let's see what they're going for. Creature board wipe, maybe? It'd be sad to lose Krenko. Opponent goes for Anguish Unmaking. What are they shooting? Opponent's going to use the Ashiok on us. All right, time for Tectonic Edge. Get rid of this Glacial Chasm. Hopefully we exile 4 lands. Oh, we lost a Blackblade Reforged, a Soul Ring, and a Rogue's Passage. Blackblade Reforged could have been very good with our commander. We lose Hero's Blade, more of the quest for the Goblin Lord. By force. Surprisingly, very little artifacts in play for a Sharuum deck being at the table. But Glacial Chasm now exiled. So open for business. And opponent's still sitting on an Anguished Unmaking. Opponent's going to use the Sarkhan, sure. Here comes Kakusho. Opponent will get to Scry, and that'll trigger the Rhystic Study. Opponent going to play a Crop Rotation into the Rhystic Study. Leaves the mana floating. Opponent going on the attack. Going to send the Kakusho into the Selvala opponent. No blocks. Not looking to have the Kakusho die. Opponent's going to activate the Selvala. We draw another land. We are flooding out. We need to find another wheel. Get through all these lands. Impact Resonance is gone. That's not great. Here comes a Tireless Tracker. Opponent drawing some cards with the Tireless Tracker. Matter Reshaper going to swing into the Sharuum. Going to say, changing their mind. Bunch of things into the Ashiok. Multani into the Sharuum. This is good news. Hoping the Anguished Unmaking gets used on Multani right here. Ooh, opponent's going to 2-mana Cyclonic Rift on the Multani? That's interesting. Why didn't they go 7? Multani is definitely worth an Anguished Unmaking. That was an interesting play on there. Oh, they're at 9 cards in hand. They're at 10. So maybe just trying to burn cards. Unless they really want Anguished Unmaking on our Krenko. Opponent goes down to 27. Multani coming back. Rhystic Study triggers. Opponent decides not to use it. Lets the Multani resolve. So opponent lets us untap with the Krenko and the Shared Animosity. We draw yet another mountain. That is so bad. We're going to play the Spine Rocknell right here. Hopefully get through some lands in our deck. We've got Strionic Resonator, Worn Power Stone, Aggravated Assault is a card. Let's grab the Aggravated Assault. Gonna play our... Commander is going to be 5. Siege Gang will be 5. Yeah, we're just a little bit short. I guess we can go... Yeah, I don't think we can get both. Makes me sad. Really, no one played a Mana Rock up to this point? Yeah, just play our Commander. Oh, wait. Maybe... actually... Oh, yeah, I guess we can use Nykthos first. That'll net us 1. Nope, I think we're still short. That would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, yeah, we are definitely short. So just play our Commander. We'll pay for the Rhystic Study. No really profitable attacks. We're just going to stay put. Opponent said he made a mistake. Probably forgot to use his mana on something, is my guess. Burgeoning's continuing to trigger. Sir Sigiri's Step triggers. A creature will get protection. That'll be Multani. One of the things that we could hope for, I think Feast and Famine is gone. Let's check our Exile Zone. No, we still have Feast and Famine in the deck. We still have Neheb in the deck. We could go Infinite with those and the Aggravated Assault under the Spine Rocknell. Here comes Sharuum. What does Sharuum bring back? Mana Crypt. That will get us extra mana. I like that, assuming opponent uses it. Although we still don't have great places to park all that mana. So opponent uses the Mana Crypt. Treasure Napper will trigger, which is why we grabbed it. Opponent was playing an artifact deck. Was hoping to get value out of that much, much sooner, though. Opponent going to crack a clue, draw a card with the Tireless Tracker. We gain control of the Mana Crypt. I have F6'd, which is not great. Krenko could get shot right here. Okay, opponent just plays an Everflowing Chalice. They can tap that if they want to. Yep, tap the Everflowing Chalice. We gain control of that. So we have so much mana that we have nothing to do with Library of Ling. Or is there a wheel coming? Please tell me there's a wheel coming. Nope, opponent just going to pass like that. No max hand size. Well, we have loads of mana, nothing to do with it. One interesting thing about Treasure Napper is that it does stop infinite mana on a Paradox Engine combo. So if that's something you run into in your meta, it might be worth keeping a Treasure Napper in your deck. Dragon's going to swing into the Selvala opponent. One dragon going to get blocked. Multani does have reach, and it is huge. Opponent going to use their Sarkhan, sure. Wonder if this is a board wipe? Yep, there's a Blasphemous Act. Well, we don't have much going on. Did we get the Haste Land in it? We did not get the Haste Land in yet. Oh, this is going to be rough. Gonna be rough. So everything going down. Matter Reshaper triggers. Kakusho triggers. Losing all of our good goblins. Opponent meant to send Sharuum to the graveyard. They did not do so. Selvala has been nerfed for the time being, but we have a serious flooding problem going on now. Her dragon coming into play. Uh-oh. That one's big. Opponent still has an Anguished Unmaking, so that can deal with it. There's an Oracle of Moldiah for the Selvala. Rhystic Study continues to trigger. I would go for an Oracle Moldiah. We have so many lands we need to get into play. They have a Soul of New Phyrexia on top of their deck. And I think we've been playing, like, I've done a terrible job of playing our lands the past few turns. We've not really made use of any of the ones that we've played. Should have got Spine Rock. I should have just went Flamekin Village first, honestly. Reforge the Soul or Skull Clamp would be incredible off top of our deck. Mana Crypt trigger on us. We borrowed that from our opponent. We won the flip. Excellent. Oh, draw another mountain. Not helpful. Play a Flamekin Village. That'll come in tapped. Burgeoning continues to trigger. Would love to get rid of that Burgeoning. Replay Krenko. Krenko coming in. Not enough for the Siege Gang Commander. Blah. So we'll just pay for the Rhystic Study. Hope someone wheels. We should have played Siege Gang right there. Yeah, I'm playing this game poorly. Played all three of these Krenko games back to back, and the first two went nice and fast. Don't think I was really prepared to like go super long on this one. So definitely losing focus now. Making subpar decisions. Also, opponents have kept a lot of cards in their hands, so like, you know, even if we run our best thing out there, if that gets blown up, then we just don't have much. After that, it's just all lands. Sorin Grim Nemesis coming into play. Okay. Opponent shoots Selvala. Kind of wanted the Selvala. We need to draw so badly. There's a Panharmonicon for the Sharuum. Ooh, that might paint a target on their back. Returning 2 artifacts is going to be very strong. Opponent going to use their Sarkhan. It's on Ultimate Loyalty. Ooh, that's a Hellkite Tyrant. That's a thing. Thankfully, we don't have any artifacts. Panharmonicon and Library look interesting, though. I'm sure to the Hellkite Tyrant. I'm going to put the boots on the Hellkite Tyrant and see if the Anguished Unmaking comes down right here. Does not. Ur-Dragon into the Selvala. Opponent gets to use the Ur-Dragon ability. Seems very good at this point in the game. Opponent saying gimme on the artifacts. Someone's playing a Vampiric Tutor. I didn't see who. Okay, so Sharuum is playing a Vampiric Tutor. Ooh, opponent ends up with a Quicksilver Amulet in play. So opponent gets hit by the Hellkite Tyrant and the Ur-Dragon. They go down to 18. That being the case, we're gonna we'll wait till our opponent's end step, just in case they have any sort of like board wipe or anything like that. Opponent grabs all the artifacts. They're very excited about it. See the Unwritten. About to look at more dragons. Interestingly, See the Unwritten currently has a power and toughness. Very odd. Here comes a Bladewing the Risen and Lathless. Those trigger twice off of the Panharmonicon. Oh boy, who's got a board wipe? Kakusho and Dragonlord Kolagon coming back. We're going to play our Spine Rock Knoll right here and get the Aggravated Assault. Probably should have played Siege Gang Commander last turn, but whoops. Like I said, been making lots of mistakes this game. We do have the one to pay for the Rhystic Study. Opponent's going to return Multani. Gives them something to do. Enlightened Tutor for the Sharuum opponent. Yep, here come all the dragons. That is many tokens. Opponent should have board lethal if they untap. Here comes Multani back to play. Uh-oh! That's in the Neheb the Eternal. Well. And this is the reason I played that Flamekin Village, because then the Neheb will have haste. We need to make sure that we have enough mana to do everything. We need 5 to get Neheb in, 7, essentially 7 to give it haste, and then we'll need 5 to untap. That'll do 4 damage, that'll do 2 damage. Okay, we're good. We're good. As long as Selvala doesn't have interaction, we are in fantastic shape. Play Neheb. Let's use the Ancient Tomb here. Dragons are actually a problem. We won't necessarily be able to, like, attack in for lethal on the dragons. Not gonna pay for the Rhystic Study. Actually, we could use Siege Gang Commander. Okay, that makes sense. So we need to give Neheb haste. We're gonna play a mountain. Burgeoning will trigger. Send both that Sharuum. Krenko and Shared Animosity will trigger. We get 2 goblins. Really probably should have played the Siege Gang Commander last turn. Opponent goes down to 12. We get 6 red mana. Excellent. So we're starting to net mana already. Let's get the Siege Gang Commander in. Get Siege Gang Commander. Not gonna pay. Problem is we don't have any card draw. So we get a bunch of tokens. All these triggers go off again. If at some point we shoot Kakusho, that'll do 10 damage to each of our opponents. That's something to think about. There's 13 red mana. I mean, there's a chance that we might just have to, like, let Sharuum untap? I don't know. We'll see. Start by paying for the aggravated assault. Then we're going to start Siege Gang commandering things. Sarkin's kind of a problem. Need to shoot that at some point. We're going to have to be a little bit quick about this. We don't have, like, all the time to execute this combo. Oh, wait a second. If we keep firing... If we fire damage into our opponent's face, then that's all more damage that Neheb will give us. Duh. Alright, go back to combat. Send this into the Sorin, this into opponent. That'll put them at 1. That'll give us an extra attack without killing them. We do need to worry about the Multani. I'd love to find a way to deal with that somehow. Yeah, so I think we need to shoot the Multani as our next step. We're going to get 23 red mana. So start shooting the Multani. Opponent can generate it, but as long as it's tapped, it's fine. Make sure we use the aggravated assault right here. So Multani goes down. We've got 4 mana left. So I think we just go back to shooting opponent in the face. We've got 2 floating. Nothing we can really do with it. So let's go back to combat. So the big thing we need the most combat steps that we can possibly get. So we're gonna attack into Sharuum right here because we really just need to milk out combat steps to keep getting more counters on the Krenko. Oh, opponent's gonna play Settle the Wreckage. Ah, they waited till now to do that. Oh man. Well, looks like our creatures are getting exiled. We will get some lands though. So use the Settle the Wreckage's ability. Try to get some mountains out of our deck and also a shuffle. We get 1. Neheb into exile. Talk about slow rolling. But we do end up with a bunch of tokens. It could be worse. Although, really, Sharuum just needs to play a board wipe or we all die. Opponent going to use Academy Ruins. I don't think they have enough mana to play and activate the Oblivion Stone. Unless it was a Mana Crypt or something. They play a land. Burgeoning continuing to trigger. Divining Top for our opponent. Opponent plays a Swords to Plowshares. I think it was on the Dragon. Here's an Expedition map. Opponent's going to Anguished Unmaking on the Sarkin. And opponent dies to the Anguished Unmaking because it does 3 damage to them. Well, now we all die. Losing to dragons. I don't know why. I can't win with the dragon deck, but everyone else seems to win with the dragon deck. That Settle the Wreckage. I did the math. We were going to be able to... We would have gotten 3 more attacks at least, and that would have been enough damage. The 4th attack would have been enough damage and tokens to shoot the Dragon in the face. The math should have worked out that we would have been able to shoot the Dragon in the face for enough to make all that work. Good game to our opponents. A little bit frustrating right there. Thought we had it, and then a last-minute Settle the Wreckage to destroy our plans. Also, I played terribly in this game. If I had made opponent's life totals just a little bit lower, things could have gone differently. A bunch of poor decision-making in there, but also ran into removal just at the wrong times. So red decks, when you get stalled, are significantly less fun than when you do not get stalled. So I didn't like how this one performed in the face of a lot of removal. I'd probably prefer regular Krenko right there. I mean, again, I didn't play as well as I could have either, but we also flooded a bit. But yeah, I think regular Krenko is probably a bit more consistent because you don't really need that much to make him good. You just kind of get him in and start tapping him, and he's going to double up those tokens every time. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. We have 1 new Patreon supporter in Damon Redwin and 1 returning Patreon supporter in Ale. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below.